A lovely sunny day again here at the Willows for Salford's second league game against Workington. Last week they won the first game at Barrow by 31 points to 0 and followed this on Wednesday by a magnificent victory in the semi-final of the Lancashire Cup, beating Lee by 16 points to 7. That puts Salford in the Lancashire Cup final on September 29th at Wigan. The teams today: Salford, Steve Gibson at fullback, Evans, Burkett, Williams, Hadley, Fell, Kerry, Peter Tunks. Kevin Tomati, the Salford coach, has turned out at hooker for today's match. Whiteley, Bradshaw, Blease and Burgess, and the Salford substitutes John Gilfillan and Jeff Clare. The Workington team: Loudon, McLean, Penrise, Rooney, Stuart Chipp, Stephen Ware, Ray Ashton, the former Oldham and Leeds scrum half, Jason Charlton, a young 20-year-old Australian playing for Workington, Falcon, Gary McGurk, McMullen, Oglenby, and their substitutes Kevin Tubman and John Beattie. The referee for today's game is Mr. Kendrew of Castleford. Salford fans have seen this man here before, I'm sure they'll know him. Steve Ramsbottom, our summariser, will set the scene for this second league match.
Thanks, Jim. It's a welcome to Workington, and Workington, looking around the field, are showing the sort of what we expect from them all these years. Big, solid forwards. You're looking around them, they all look very capable men indeed. The Salford team on a high from the great victory on Wednesday night. One or two changes, some enforced by injury, and we'll just be anxious to see that they can carry on in the way that they left off on Wednesday.
Thanks, Steve. And Workington take that kick-off. Big forward there driving in, stopped. And another forward driving through there. This is what we'll get in the first minutes to test each other out, these packs. And there's a break by the Workington pack. Big team here, this Workington, and that ball will not go to touch. Steve Gibson gathers. He's running through there. He beats two men, but is overwhelmed by three tacklers.
That's a very lively start from Workington. They've come out, they've put some good passes together and made an excellent break before the kick through didn't actually go into touch, and so Salford have the chance now to bring the ball away.
It's been some years since we saw Workington here. They've spent considerable time in the second division. Salford are here trying to win promotion in their first season for some years in the second division. And Blease to Kerry. Kerry dodging, doesn't get away with his dummy. Oh, that's a good move by Chunks, and there is Peter. What is given the forward pass? A forward pass.
Yes, Salford looking sharp though. There was some quick play of the balls, and it was Tamati getting the ball away very quickly. Neat handling. Unfortunately, it was a forward pass at the time that actually the break appeared.
Workington's ball from the scrum. And that's Stephen Ware. Stand-off. That's Ray Ashton there. And Neil Rooney. This is Workington centre. Workington player attempting to take it on from the play of the ball and is stopped. Oh, the referee's given Salford offside. The linesman's on for some reason, I'm not quite sure. I don't know if you saw anything there, Steve.
No, afraid I didn't. Whatever it is, I think has passed with just a comment from the referee to the Workington hooker, from the free kick. Are Workington going to go for goal? Yes, they're going to have a pot at goal. It's a good start from Workington. They've tackled keenly and they've handled well when they've had the ball in these opening minutes. I think one of the things that Salford will have to be very aware of is the reaction, perhaps, to the great success on Wednesday night. It's very easy to be at your top form, I would imagine, in front of 7,000 people in a very action-packed game. And maybe it seems like a little bit of an anticlimax today. Salford will have to be wary of that. There is a game that's got to be won.
Yes, points are very important to Salford. You can't afford to drop any points in this first division, in the second division rather, if they want to get back to the first, and that's a goal. It was Loudon, the full-back, who kicked that goal for Workington, giving them an early lead. After 2-3 minutes, it's 2-0 for Workington. Kick off. And the Workington player there is tackled short of the 22-metre line. Big forward there taking that on, but he's taken down well by 3 Salford forwards. Salford's defence, Salford's tackling is very sharp, very telling. Yes, now, and Workington have gone backwards. They're still not out of their own 22-metre area. Hold. Players are telling him to hold it, hold it. They're finding it's difficult to get away from this Salford defence, as other teams have already this season. It's back to the full-back for a kick. And Tex Evans takes that very well, had to trap it. It was an awkward ball, bouncing in front of him. Steve Gibson runs into a wall of Workington defenders there. Oh. Tunks driving through there. Big man, this Tunks. Going to be an asset to the Salford club, I'm sure. And there's David Fell trying to get away. And that's... Oh, Bradshaw, brilliant break. And there's Steve Kelly's going to go over for the first try. Beautiful break. And a beautiful pass from Arthur Bradshaw. Sharp passing there that made that opening.
Oh, that was brilliant. Yes, it was good teamwork up to the pass to Kerry. But what a try from Kerry. He saw the half gap, and I think that's the first time this season that we've seen Kerry accelerate away like that, to use the speed that we know he's got from his time on the wing last season. He saw the gap, he had a lot of men to beat, and he left them all for dead and went behind the post. That was good play from Salford in the build-up, and good thinking from Kerry to see the break, and that was excellent scrum half play from Steve Kerry. And behind the posts to give himself what will hopefully be a very comfortable conversion kick, which we'll see. Right now, great start from Salford.
Yes, that was the first real attack that Salford made after the initial opening. Usually is a fierce opening in a rugby league match when the forwards really sat at each other and try to test the strength. Salford on their first real attack really sliced through that Workington defence then. That's Chris Whiteley's ball. Burkitt acting half back, and there again is Bradshaw. Is that Bradshaw? Yes. And they've stolen the ball. Ashton's stolen the ball in the tongue, and Salford have regained it from a drop pass. Well, oh yes, the referee has caught them offside, well offside, way over the other side of the pitch.
Well, that's just the start that Salford needed. They, to my eyes, have just been looking a little bit for them on their high standards this season, a little bit hesitant in some of the tackling in the opening minutes. But a try from the first real attack must relax them, I'm sure, and put them in great heart to build on it.
There's Chunks driving through from that to play the ball from the free kick. And Tamati to Chris Whiteley. Chris Whiteley makes it to the 10-yard line. Tamati again. And there's David Fell. Oh. Now, I don't know what that is. I don't know what decision that is. He's given.
I think what happened there, Jim, it actually the pass was I think a bit forward and all that.
Well, I thought it was. The only thing I was confused about, he looked to be pointing for the free kick, and I wondered why. No. And that's Salford's tackling again. You know, it's very sharp. Oh no. Well, you know, if they were offside, he should have blown before. I mean, I think he's perhaps used not to seeing such quick covering by a defence. This referee up to now, he's putting people offside who are running up after the ball's played.
Well, perhaps at the start of the game we give the referee the benefit of the doubt. I mean, this is the way to take the teams apart, and as long as he's consistent, then it should give Salford the chance to run with the ball as the game goes on.
Now Workington on that attack on that, lost the ball again. It was quite a good attack. Ashton did very well to break through and get his forwards in motion, but Arthur Bradshaw tidied it up. That's is that Hadley that was coming? No, it was Peter Williams. Hadley's on his wing now. Now there's some players offside here. Now that's again, Salford are allowing the ball to be wrestled away from them in the tackle here. No, there's no way through there for the Workington forward, the loose forward. Still getting it across the line. Oh yes, Williams missed the man, but David Fell was quickly up to take him. Now it's Salford's ball from that kick. And there. That was two drives, one by Burgess and the other by Whiteley. Need to get this ball about now. Now trying to jink his way through there. You can see the line coming up. Terry. Oh, and that was a backwards, he said, and Gibson still got the ball. That's Blease there, surrounded by Workington defenders. Passing it along the line. And there's Hadley. And it's a turnover.
Yes, that was good play from Salford without actually ever looking as though they were going to make it the break on that occasion, and that was as much credit to Workington's defence. Workington have come out looking sharp. Of course, Workington themselves had a good victory last week. They beat Fulham 9 points to 4, and it's little breaks like that that show that they've got every opportunity to do well today.
Hadley's racing over here to the corner from a drop ball. Yes, Workington dropped that ball, and Hadley, well, it was seized upon by a Salford player who transferred it swiftly along to Hadley, and Hadley, well, I'll have to say that he beat 2 or 3 men there rather easily. Great storming run, but I think the tackling there was rather weak on Workington's part.
Yes, just as I'm saying that Workington are playing their part in this game by defending well. They do make a nice break, but it was the pass that would have put Workington on the attack that actually dropped the ball, and it went to Hadley, who raced in round a couple of men and made it look very easy into the corner. A good try from Hadley, a good solo effort.
Obviously that's the big difference between the two teams. It's the question of the pace at which they play the game. So now the poor kicked from Kerry from the touchline. The score now is 10 points to 2 in Salford's favour after just about 10 minutes.
Yes, so it's a good start for Salford. I think in all fairness the score probably flatters them slightly at this stage. Having said that, Workington haven't been in Salford's 25 yet, but they have looked neat in the approach play to that point.
Oh, that was well done by Bradshaw. Bounced off his knees and into his hands. Usually those are the balls that are very difficult and cause you all kinds of trouble. You can't stand with your hands in the air indicating that you're offside. If you're offside, you're offside. And the referee has given that decision. That's a good kick from Peter Williams to find touch. Good left-footed kick. Now here's Kevin Tamati now. He's starting to play with a pass to Evans. Tries to force his way through. Tamati again. Tunks. Oh, oh, and David fell. Taking advantage of that flick back by Tunks, which we almost lost. I thought we were going to lose that ball. And there's a tackle, a good passing movement, but Workington had it well covered there. It's Whiteley coming to the end of this series of tackles, and Kevin was about to work one of his famous moves there, but unfortunately he fumbled the ball on picking it up, so it's a scrum. Workington's ball. There's no way through there. Oh, no. no, referee, you must shout held. You must shout held, play the ball, or allow the man to lose the ball or to pass it.
Yeah, perhaps that's what he'd done on that occasion. Perhaps he called held. But again, it was good play from Salford. Tamati's getting in at foot, receiving the ball from the tackler every time and putting the ball out as fast as he can, and this is keeping play open.
Yes, and I'm a great believer in referees shouting held far sooner than they do usually. Then there'd be no confusion and no argument about the game. Still finding it hard to break through this Salford defence. That's 3 tackles. The loose forward. Oglenby. No. 2 to go, shouts Kerry. And there's 1. Into touch. Let it roll. Salford should have the puck in and should win this ball.
Yes, that was neat play from Workington. They didn't look as though they were going to break down the Salford defence, but in the end it was good thinking and a lot of good yards made to about 10 yards outside the Salford 25, but now Salford have the ball from that scrum.
It's Gibson trying to get through from that scrum. Burgess driving nearer to the halfway line. There's Chris Whiteley, who almost makes it to the halfway line. Fell almost through. Oh, that's a break, that's a break. That's a... Oh dear, last tackle. That was a half break there, we were almost through there. Kick from Tamati to the winger. And he's tackled. Brave attempt to break through, but tackled. And that's a knock on. Oh, fate.
Another good spell from Salford, finishing up with a half break from Gibson. If he had been, if he just managed to shake off that last tackle, he would have had a clear run, not to the line. He'd only had the full back to beat. A good kick from Tamati. The Workington winder took the ball well, and unfortunately dropped the ball again. But good from Salford's point of view.
It's Peter Williams. And Peter Williams, a determined run. No, Burkett. I'm sorry, Burkett. Martin Burkett. Burgess up. Burgess takes the dummy, just gives a dummy, but he's tackled. Tyson, that's a drive in here. I don't know if Steve Kerry's suffering the same as we are from wasps flying around, distracting the attention.
Yes, that was good thinking. The ball was going across the field. The passes were going over a few yards, and I think Kerry was just looking at the options when he took his eye off the ball. Well, that was nice play from Workington again, and I think the referee has penalised Gibson probably on allegedly tripping, but whether he was actually doing that on purpose or was just himself on the floor from the previous tackle, I don't know. But Workington well in this game still, and obviously going to be a handful for Salford.
Yes, Salford's ball, Workington player lost the ball. It was then knocked forward by Salford, but the initial error was a knock-on, and therefore it's Salford's put in. David fell. Oh, come on, that's static again. Peter Williams driving it in, giving some purpose to the movement. And now there's Gibson striding out there. Now, almost passed the ball off the floor there. Hammerty. Burgess tackled. Here's Tonks. No. Hammerty taken down. Last tackle, Salford. A bit iffish, some of Salford's play. It's not as... That's a good pass. Oh dear. And the crowd are shouting there, they think he's in touch, but he's lost the ball. I don't know what... Oh, I don't know what...
Well, it's good play from Salford, and yet somehow they're not quite the same cohesive force that we've seen in the Lancashire Cup games. And as I was saying at the beginning of the match, that's always a possibility that after the excitement of the Lancashire Cup semi-final, that they might be slightly off the boil. However, having said that, with 10 points to 2 up, we're keeping Workington for the most part inside their own half. But I don't think there's no reason to even think of writing off this Workington team. They're playing well together. They are looking sharp with the passing, and but for a couple of fumbles when they've had the ball, they could well have made some very telling breaks. But there's another example of their having lost the ball.
Listen, it's Kerry. That must be a wipeout. Although actually there was no tackle in any case. Lee's driving through there. That's a good move. That's a good pass back by Tonks. David fell. Now it's Samity. Well, a bit of careless play there by Salford. You know, they're trying to get that ball out in the tackle too close to each other, and it's going astray there. Knock on.
Yes, the game's a bit untidy. I mean, we've seen such good games so far this season, and perhaps our expectations are a little bit too much. But well, there was another example of untidiness. The ball not quite going in, and then Kerry not being able to recover it.
Yes, Kerry's got the ball. Oh, no, referee, the man is pushing down there. Ashton is being a bit naughty there, and Tomati has had a word with him. Oh, and there's Fell in for a try easily. You see, it's so easy when you do the simple things. And that was a break by Blease from a good passing movement, and again David Fell was backing up.
Yes, and that's what we know Salford are capable of. After a period of somewhat scrappy passing, they set out after that scrum with what appeared to be so much more purpose. They put the ball through several pairs of hands, and it was David Fell backing up Ian Blease. Ian Blease, I'm sure, is going to make a lot of those breaks in the second division this year, and if David Fell can keep up with him, he was on Sherratt's shoulder a couple of times on Wednesday to score tries, and there he was on Blease's shoulder, and had a nice comfortable run in right behind the posts. And when you see Salford play rugby like that, then I suppose we all expect them to do it every time they get the ball, and realistically that isn't possible. But that was excellent play, and so it's Salford 16, Workington 2.
Workington winning the ball from that scrum. Oh, that's a crunching tackle from Arthur Bradshaw, who consistently belies his weight. Not such a big lad, but he tackles like he is. Oh, and Tex Evans is going to score here from that drop pass. Another drop pass. Tex Evans has picked up that ball. Don't get it down, Tex. He has this habit of waving, saluting the crowd. A terrible mistake by Workington there, and again I say, if Salford get a break, they're going to score, because the difference really between these two teams is the pace.
Yes, it was certainly shown on that occasion, but you have to feel sorry for Workington, because up to that point they were doing everything right themselves. They were putting together some nice passing movements, and but for the fumble of the final pass, they could well have had the opportunity themselves to create an overlap and have the opportunity to score themselves. As it was, they fumbled the ball, and Evans had a simple task of picking it up and running half the length of the field, which he did at half speed or so, it seemed. It's Kerry's to have a go with the goal. More support for Tex Evans, with mixed views about him raising his hand to salute the crowd. No, that's missed. With mixed views about Evans raising his hand to salute the crowd before he scores the try. You always like to feel comfortable that the ball's on the ground and the try's given, and then the players can raise the hand. It reminds me of the game in New Zealand this year when Martin Offiah nearly scored what would have been probably the try of the century that England scored against, that could have scored against New Zealand, but over the line he completely dropped the ball, and that's something always to be aware of. The try isn't scored until it's down behind the line and the referee has given the try.
And Salford have made a substitution. Jeff Clare has come on for Chris Whiteley. No, for Peter Tunks. Peter Tunks, that must have been an injury, not a grass burn that I was talking about. I think Peter Tunks has gone off, and Jeff Clare's come on. Oh, there's a pass floated out by Kevin Atamati. No, down there, nobody's 5 yards back there because the referee isn't. Just Tamati. Well, I was lost in the tackle because Tamati was attempting to get it away. So just takes that man down well as a hooker. Tackled by his opposite number, Kevin Tamati. Stephen Ware trying to break through this defence. See, there's Ashton as a centre. Oh, scored because Tex Evans took him into touch, and it's the last tackle.
Well, that's just the sort of play that we've been seeing from Workington, but this time it really did nearly make that try. They put together the passes well, and it was number 4 Rooney who beat Tamati quite comfortably, and then had the opportunity to pass out to Windy Chick, who we know had a spell down here at Salford last season. Fortunately for Salford, Evans' defence was up to it. He was able to turn and tackle him before he was able to score, but that was only a few yards short of the try line and very nearly Workington's first try of the game.
That's Kerry taking it across there to Blease, fighting his way through there, Blease. That's Kerry. Good kick that, brilliant kick there, gained all those yards, saved all that work. Workington to feed, and the referee's making him put the ball in again. It's a free kick to whom? Free kick to Workington. Driven Salford back to their own 22-metre area. Oh. Another. Workington trying to barge his way through there with the big forwards. Is Ashton trying to do something here? And a man's tackled after a struggle. Hooker, as all hookers do, running away at the play the ball. Oh dear. A bit slow. And that ball's gone dead from the kick.
Well, that was nice play again from Workington, and in some ways they exposed Salford more so than perhaps Lee did on Wednesday night, because there were very clear scoring chances on that occasion. But it's Salford again showing their ability to tackle and to stay alert, and now have the opportunity to come away with the ball.
There was a bit of gamesmanship at that. Kerry was looking for the ball to take a quick tap, which with half the Workington team behind him, and the Workington player hoofed it away. The referee judging that it was accidental. The crowd don't like that one. I think it went backwards. I don't know if the referee was actually well up with it, but he's ruled that it was a knock-on. Oh dear. There's no way through there for Ashton. That break from Penrise. Going backwards, being forced backwards. Oh, he's broke now. Stephen Ware broke out of the tackle there very well.
Yes, that was good play from Workington again. The man kept on his feet and he made the break and sidestepped Gibson beautifully. Workington, you know, they're not a bad outfit. They're putting a number of passes together, and they have some good play, but just at the moment Salford are still able to hold them. But this is Workington's best spell of the game. They've been in the Salford half now for almost 10 minutes since Salford scored their last try. And when Salford had the ball, then unfortunately they were a little bit ragged, a little bit untidy. They didn't appear to have, or they don't appear to have today, the same cutting edge that we've seen in the last few games. But perhaps not a surprise after all the excitement of earlier matches. And what a nice position to be in. Here am I saying they don't have the cutting edge, and there's 20 points on the board, so that can't be bad.
Gibson away from that scrum. Oh, a bit high. Surely a bit high there from the fullback on his opposite number. As Jeff Clare rattling his way through there. Salford are not finding it too easy to break out of the grip. It's only when Workington make their mistakes that they're really running with the ball. Oh, and oh no, referee, you must really, that's twice that has happened, and he quite obviously had not shouted held, and the player is therefore allowed to steal the ball.
Well, I think actually that was from a forward pass, Jim. I think he alleged that when Williams took the ball off Tamati, it was because he passed it slightly forward.
Yes, it's plays a bit bogged down at the moment. Oh, slipped through number 10 there, but he's big strong prop there. Falcon. Kick up. Check shots my ball, and it is. And there's Gibson making his way up towards the halfway line, overwhelmed by Workington defenders. I think Salford look as if they're anxious to do something here. There's a move on here. There's a move on here from Salford. Peter Williams there, I think, on that wing, is taken into touch.
Yes, you sort of sensed that then, Jim, didn't you? That was much brighter play from Salford. It looks as though they decided that this time they were going to find a break. It didn't quite come, but it wasn't because of the quality of the passing, which was very good. I think we have got to give credit to Workington Town. They are tackling very, very well, and they're passing the ball out very crisply.
And from that scrum, Workington player tackled. Here's Stephen Wade, a chunky standoff. He's got the ball out. There's a break there by Ware again. Ball is gathered by Salford, but this standoff's been coming into the game more of Workington. He's a strong lad and he's breaking through some of the tackles. That's Hadley driving it in. Oh, and that's Arthur Bradshaw. He's a strong, determined runner, Bradshaw. Jeff Clare. And there's just there trying to get the ball away. The ball fumbled a few times. I don't know whether it went forward, backward. I think it went everywhere, that ball.
Yes, that was probably a scrum for some reason or other in all the mishandling there. But again, Salford looking a bit sharper again as they get the ball along the line, trying to make the break.
Oh, another free kick. I don't know what the free kick count is, perhaps. Well, the penalty count so far is 5 for Workington to 2 for Salford, and there's been 2 penalties at the scrum given also to Workington, so a total of 7 to 2.
Well, do you see, this is good play from Workington. They're going to be a good team in the second division this year. That's neat handling, difficult to put down, and number 6, as you said, Jim, is really starting to shine for them now.
Let's see, Ashton taking it on his own. Workington are trying to best get a try here, and that was nearly won. That big number 10 there. Falcon driving to the line. And the ball bounced off the Salford foot, so it's he kicked it deliberately, I think, so that's why the tackles are wiped out. And that was a nice little pass, but he's been taken to the touchline by the Salford fullback, and now the ball's kicked into touch. It will be Workington's pocket.
Yes, and that was a similar situation to a few minutes ago when Workington nearly scored. It was the same people involved. It was going through the half-backs, finished up with Rooney making an excellent break. This time the winger wasn't quite with him, and Gibson fortunately was able to close him down and tackle him into touch.
Well, apparently came off a Workington play to go into touch, and that's why Salford are putting it in. Now here's Tex Evans, and there's Gibson. Oh, when a ball bounced off a Workington player, and Gibson regained it, and there's Hadley making a great break to the halfway line. Bit of bright play here from Salford. After seems to have woken up after being somewhat asleep. Come on. Hey. Now, come on, he's holding down, man. Yes. Referee gives the penalty. We're almost on half time here. Now, this play will have to be completed before there's any question of the hooter sounding. We'll seem to be near hooter time here. It's Whiteley. Now then, there'll be a move here. I think that if they don't score here, Salford is going to reach half-time without any more addition to the score. And that gives us a half-time score of 20 points to 2. A bit scrappy, Steve.
Yes, and yeah, 20 points to 2 isn't a bad half-time score to go in. It's even better than the half-time score at Barrow last week. We always expect them to throw the ball about in this position. It's not always possible, but we did see something of it just towards the end of the half, where the ball went from a Salford scrum inside their own 25 right along the line and created almost an overlap on the far side. But in the end, it's Workington. They are playing well. They're holding Salford, and they're doing their share on attack as well. They could have scored on 3 occasions, and it was thanks to Salford's defence, which has been outstanding so far this season, to keep them out. 20 points to 2. Let's look forward to the second half.
And Steve, as the team's come out for the second half, any thoughts about how it may go? We're a bit patchy and scrappy in the first half of the play generally.
Yes, well, let's hope that the lads have relaxed now. They know that they're comfortably in front, and they should use the opportunity to pass the ball out wide and just remind us of what they're capable of. We've got a substitute. Gil Fillan's on for his first appearance for the club. We all wish him well, and we hope that he can shine this afternoon. But what we want him to do is run the ball. We want to see it's a fine day. It's dry. There's no excuses for dropping the ball. So let's see them running it from every position.
And where is he playing, Gil Fillan? Who's off? Burgess driving it in here. Over a 22. I don't know if it's Martin Burkett that's gone off. No? There's somebody in the pack. Tomaty's gone off. Texas Evans has gone into the pack, and Gil Fillan's gone onto the wing. This is the last tackle, and Tex Evans kicks up. And the boy nearly dropped the ball, and Tex enables Tex to tackle him from behind there.
Yeah, and much brighter start from Salford. It's just what we were talking about. They look much sharper then. They look willing to run with the ball. Tamati has gone off. Let's see what Gil Fillan can do for us.
He's giving this boy Gil Fillan a run on the wing for Salford. I'll wish him well. Is he in the centre? Oh yes, they've switched back now. Yes, Burkett's taking the wing position and Gil Fillan's come inside. The last tackle, Workington went through a series of tackles there without making any real progress. That's back to Ashton for a kick. To Gibson, who takes it. Gibson's going through, and he's going through, yes. Well, almost completely through there. Beat three tacklers. And now there is Chris Whiteley, taking it over the halfway line. Well taken there by David Fell, who almost breaks through the defence. There's Gil Fillan. Oh yes, yes, and Tex Evans breaks through. And Tex is going right through to the sticks there. Beautiful move, a lovely little loop pass from Kerry, and Tex was on the loop. And had he been more decisively tackled than he was, I'm sure he would have passed it inside to Burgess. It was a score anyway.
Yes, I was just thinking that, oh cracky, he was going to get tackled and he had Burgess inside to pass to, but he didn't need him. He went through on his own, and that's what we want to see from Salford. Now that looked so much better. They put the passes together, they created the gaps, and in the end Evans made that look very comfortable, but perhaps that's what they were missing in the first half, a little bit of firepower up front. So that now that they've got the pace of Evans in the forwards, then we'll go and see a few more points from Kerry. Evans in the forwards. That's what we want to, where we want to see the breaks coming from.
And it's very useful if you have a player like Tex Evans, who plays most of his rugby on the wing, but can easily switch into the pack, because he's a big strong player. And that advantage was proved there by that excellent try. Workington to kick off now, trailing by 26 points to 2. And they're making a substitution. Stuart Chick's going off. And I think for Tubman. There is Gilfillan with his first chance of the ball. And there's David Fell making his way through a couple of tackles. And there's Bradshaw again. Another 5 yards gained. There's Blease. And there's Kerry. Kerry's kicked through, and he might get this too. Yes, he's got the ball through. Is it going to go dead? And they have to kick it dead.
Good thinking from Kerry, seeing the gap behind the Workington three-quarters. A nice first touch from Gilfillan early on. He made a good few yards. And I think we forgot to congratulate Gibson on the earlier run before the try came, on almost getting clear. And I wouldn't mind betting that we'll see a try from Gibson before the afternoon's over.
Gibson taking that pass from Kerry, and knock on. That pass was knocked down, gathered by the Workington player, but completing the knock on. There we go. There's Gilfillan trying to get through. Good little run. There's Arthur Bradshaw. It's taken three players to tackle Bradshaw there. Chris Whiteley. Andy Burgess bossing things out there a bit in this half. There's Bradshaw again, holding the ball as he turned. That's right, get it over. And that was a collision which resulted in Salford losing the ball. A quick play, but a good tackle. Workington working their way to the 22-metre line, cleared in the lines there. Strong run here, but the man's brought down just over the 22. Is that standoff? A strong standoff again, trying to break through. It's the last tackle. Kick here by Ashton, but I think it's well covered this time by Burkett. Well taken, beautiful take. And Burkett races through the middle, up, and makes a nice break. Good clearing run there. And there's Blease, and there's Burgess. And there's Kerry. And there's Whiteley, and there's Gibson. And that's good play from Salford. Keep the ball moving. Keep the ball available. There's Burkett with that strong run through. 3 tackles, says the referee. Oh yes.
Well, that was good approach play from Salford for a lot of that move. It started when Burkett had to run something like 20 yards to collect the ball from the Workington kick-out. But he certainly made it his. There was some bright play, especially on the left side. Perhaps Hadley should have passed out to Williams, who seemed to have the chance on the outside. And in the end, they just tried a little bit too hard and came inside once too often, when so very often the best thing to do is keep going on the outside.
Workington again trying to power the way out of their own territory. And Hooker, that's a Hooker's game, is to take it on. Unfortunately, they always seem to run into no man's land, although they make some yardage. But most Hookers do that these days. That's the last tackle again. Another series of tackles without really making any headway, and they're having to kick again. Yes. Gibson's takes it in and is driven back by the tackles. It's Whiteley driving in there. Burgess, no way through there. He's Kerry on a run here. Kerry on a run here. Kerry, beautiful run. And he lost the ball trying to get it out in a last desperate tackle. Beautiful run.
Yes, that was very reminiscent of the try that Kerry scored in the first half. He saw the gap from a long way out and was very confident to go through it. It was just unfortunate he didn't see that he actually had some cover, somebody backing him up inside, and perhaps a pass inside would have brought the try. As it was, he tried to beat the man himself, and he was just tattled. But what a good break from Kerry. That's more of the sort of play that we like to see.
The referee penalised Salford there. The crowd at that end very disgruntled about the decision. Obviously they're feeling a bit of frustration. They want to see Salford score. And from that free kick now, Workington have dropped the ball. And he's kicked a goal. Well then, kicked up by Workington after being dropped, and right into the hands of Tex Evans. He fell and tackled there. He's given the Salford offside after the Workington player struck at the ball. It hit Kerry, rolled forward, and Gilfillan attempting to pick it up from an offside position. And Workington again have the problem of trying to break down this Salford defence. Hooker again with his usual run, this time spotted early enough, and he's driven back to the point where he picked the ball up. Being driven back again, finding this Salford defence just too tight. Switching it out to the left, but again, loose forward is taken down, and another kick. And it's straight to Gibson. Gibson running. It was a poor pass really. It was lofted up, and Williams wanted it on the run. Gibson going through. No. Move coming up here from Salford. Now that's the move. He went the wrong way. I think he should have gone out to his wing. Instead of coming inside, I think he should have gone out to his wing. But it was a beautiful break, beautiful move by Salford. Oh, beautiful by Williams there. Good play by Salford, keeping the ball available again. But Workington have the turn.
Yes, that was a good play from Salford. The break from Blees was brilliant. That's the sort of break that I mentioned. I'm sure we're going to see a lot of this season. Unfortunately, he didn't see that he actually had two men outside him, and had he gone past to the right, it could well have been Gilfillan's first try for Salford. Unfortunately, the man inside was Fell, who was nothing unfortunate about it being Fell, but he was tattled because that's where the Workington cover was. But they kept the play bright. It came right over to the left-hand side of the field before the handover came. And here's Workington again, still trying to break the ball away, but the Salford cover is good enough to keep them there.
Again, the same story. Workington find it impossible to break through the Salford defence. Another series of tackles, after which given a free kick to Salford there. I'm still not sure why. And Salford.
Well, I think what was happening, there was a bit of a scramble trying to get up, and the Workington man pulled the Salford player down as he tried to walk away. Well, that's how perhaps it appeared to the referee.
Workington are making a substitute. John Beattie is replacing number 11, McGurk. Salford here on a run with Jeff Clare, driving to the post, driving into the danger area for Workington, not being allowed to play the ball, but still. He's in touch. Ah, yes, Hadley was just in touch.
Yeah, no, that was a surprise. Not that the try was disallowed, but Salford didn't score from that because they had a 3-2 overlap, and you'd have thought that those players involved then would have had the ability to score at that particular time. If they're going to make a success in the Lancashire Cup final and get opportunities like that, those are the opportunities that have got to be taken.
Workington again to try to clear their lines. That's the first tackle. That's the second. And they've lost the ball. And that's one of Salford's features of Salford's defensive work, is that they're very strong in the tackle, and very often they get the ball from the opposition. It's Jeff Clare driving his way through there. Dave Fell. Tex Evans on the loop there, half break. And half a Bradshaw. Yes, that's a typical half a Bradshaw run. Very strong for a little second row forward.
Yes, he was a few yards out, and he was determined that he was going to go over on his own. Every try is a good try to see, and you've got to compliment the player on being aware of the possibilities at that point. I think one of the things that Tamati might be noticing this afternoon is the opportunities that these three quarters are not taking. Hadley obviously felt that he'd scored a few minutes ago, although the linesman had judged that he was in touch beforehand, and then a few minutes after that there was a not dissimilar opportunity. Oh, Kerry just missed the kick. So now at 30 points to 2, let's hope that with something like 20 minutes to go that we're going to see some running rugby from Salford. We've got to remember, having said all that it is yet another sunny, warm day. It's almost been a summer sport so far for Salford's matches this year, and in the heat out there, it isn't easy to keep running at 100 miles an hour all the time.
Yes, and well taken that kick off by Tex Evans. It was a short one, just clearing the line, and now Chris Whiteley now driving a ball in. Yes. Ian Blees strong there in the run, taking 3 players to pull him down, but he still makes plenty of yardage. A Workington player injured in that tackle. Receiving some attention there. I think he had a knock. He was on the retreat as he came in to do the tackling. It's Paul Penrise, centre. Ray Ashton is frantically shouting them to stop the ball, stop the ball. His Workington team, he's the coach this season. And there's Gilfillan trying to break through. Nice little run, still going. Burgess, Kerry. Oh, and a loop. Oh, and it's a brave effort to kick it, to pick that ball up. But there again, and I think rather over elaborate there, Steve. I think it should have been just simple, pass the ball along the line.
Yes, we can see from where we're sitting that there was a clear overlap on this left-hand side if they just put the ball right along the line. As it wasn't a bad move. Blease made the break, but Kerry wasn't quite up in support on that occasion.
Workington again in their own territory, trying to battle their way out. Ashton, who's forward? No, he's taking. They've got almost to the halfway line, but they've lost the ball. And Hadley takes the short route, almost breaks through. It's rightly now, here's Kerry. And there's Blease. And we've lost the ball again in that movement, I think. At the death, I think Blease would have done well to hold on to the ball instead of trying to get out a vain pass.
Yes, it's always disappointing for us when we're watching the game, isn't it, to see everything done right. Blease's break was first class. It couldn't be faulted in any way at all. Even when he was tackled, he kept going, he didn't give up. And perhaps the one pass that shouldn't have been made was made, and Williams couldn't quite take it. We also, perhaps looking at it from here, we could almost think that had the move kept going to the right, there might have been the chance to score a try. And for 1 minute the crowd thought Kerry was going to kick a goal, when all we want to see this afternoon is flowing open rugby to bring the tries.
I think the crowd were right there. They were shouting, get it in the corner. They don't want the kicks at goal. They want to see the ball being put down over that line, and that now will be a wipe out. There's Gibson, Williams to Gilfillan. Three players take him down. It's a wipe out, says the referee. It's kicked by a Workington player. Yes, and the Workington still stoutly defending, tackling, never giving up. Please. That's dropped and knocked on.
Yes, a lot of these forwards, Salford's moves in the forwards are actually revolving around Ian Blease, and he's made a few good breaks. And now it doesn't look as though anybody wants to go for the ball. Oh yes, the physio's gone for it.
I think one of the problems of this game is that Salford are not feeling themselves under any real pressure, and they may get that quite often in matches in this second division. I think they know that they should be even more points ahead than they are at the moment, at the lead of 30 points to 2. don't know what happened there. I'm sure that ball will roll forward at some stage in that little incident. Still trying to drive out. It's the last tackle again. They're going to have to kick. And there. Oh, what's that, Steve? That was a wild pass meant for Gibson, who has to run back and recover it. Now Salford. Referee is talking to the Workington player there for something in the tackle.
Yes, I think it was because he fell on Gibson after Gibson was very clearly tackled, and that was unnecessary at this stage of the game from McMullen. So Salford finding themselves in their own half. That's a new experience after what was a very sloppy pass from Kerry to Gibson that fell in no man's land.
I think Salford really need now a last 15 minutes of sparkle and good open play, because this match has got into the doldrums somewhat. They need to make sure of their passing and not send silly passes out, but just basic steady rugby surely will overcome this defence. That has lost the ball. Yes, again another drop ball. Peter Williams looks most unhappy about it. It's one of those games. Salford doing most of the attacking and yet everything breaking down. I'm sure that they'll have a spurt on towards the end of this match when they'll score some more points.
Well, they did the right things that time. They put the ball right along the line, and Williams in the tattle dropped the ball. But that's happening in rugby league this year, isn't it? The tattles are so fierce, three-men tattles, and the ball is difficult to keep hold of, and it was just knocked out his hand as a consequence of the three-men tattle.
There's a break by Penrise, one of the first times that the Workington players managed to break the tackle in their own half here. And he's got the ball now. That's a knock on. Well, that was from Ian McLean. Quite a simple pass. He just dollied it out. And that was an untidy scrum. Now, Mr. Ashton is again showing a bit of temper there against his opposite number, Steve Kerry, as he did in the first half. Forward. It was forward, but it's a wipe out because the Salford hand touched that pass on the way. And again, even with the half break, Workington are unable to make any real capital. There's a hooker doing his usual dart forward from the play of the ball. And it's now the last tackle. It's here where Salford may score.
Well, that was good play from Workington. They kept the ball alive themselves, and the kick through came back to them off a Salford player. Now, so there's another change on the Salford team. Tamaty's coming back on and Williams is going off. I think Williams got a knock earlier on. Fine applause for Williams, having a good game. Salford's ball, Gibson trying to make the break.
Fullback was up there, and fortunately for him he made the tackle, otherwise it would have been an open field. Salford now moving it out of their own territory and showing Workington how it should be done, because they've already got near to the halfway line in 3 tackles. And Hadley's on a run here, tackled into touch, yes.
Well, that's just what we've been asking for, isn't it, for the last 20 minutes? Put the ball along the line, right out to the far side, and that was exactly right there. But the winger, the right winger for Workington, McLean, was a match for Hadley and tackled him into touch. Unfortunately, Hadley looks quite as though he's taken a knock. We'll have to see what that is. A knock on his shoulder. He's on his feet, but in some difficulty and discomfort, but he's all right. He's going to carry on. Hadley was unlucky there. One more yard, and he would have been away. One more yard, and he would have had a clear run into the line. Oh, that's interesting. Drinks time for Workington with the lads coming on.
Oh, and that was feeding, definitely. And no, referee, that ball was put well behind the second row, and he's given Salford feet up. Free kick for Workington. Now we'll see if Workington can get from their own into Salford's territory. Big forward, taken down well there by Tamati. Tamati again. Knock on there, yes. The referee spotted it. He fumbled the ball on the floor.
Yes, a little bit more activity off the ball from Salford there, a little bit more sharpness. It's as if the boss is on the field, and so we'll have to go up a gear. So let's see what they can do if we win the ball from this scrum and turn it into a try.
It was a good enough move, but not really made any real progress. The passing was good, and given and taken well, but didn't make any headway with it. Burgess is trying to force a way through here now. Hadley, get away from that touchline. And he's got it out to get the ball out, although pulled him into touch. Well done there by Hadley. The 3 men were wrestling into touch. Good move there, it's a turnover.
Yeah, some brighter play from Salford at that point. Hadley did very well not to go into touch to get the ball inside, but perhaps that final pass from Tamati was telegraphed too much from the Salford point of view, because Evans was tackled virtually before he got the ball. It was such an obvious pass, but a little bit brighter, and perhaps we'll see another try before the game's over.
Evans in again, penned in, tackled, losing ground. Salford defence again solid. Lost the ball. Salford's ball. Fallon sees that one. Fallon forcing his way through there. And there's Tex. Well taken, well tackled there. He's run away to the corner. I think that was very, very marginal. A beautiful little pass, short pass there. I'm afraid I have to say this referee has not helped the entertainment one little jot today.
No, but if it was a forward pass, it was a forward pass. There's nothing the referee can do about that. But Salford did all the right things. It came across the line very sharply there, and it was just unfortunate that Clare's final pass to Burkett wasn't considered a good pass, because Burkett had to take a very difficult pass, and Salford still looking for that bit of sparkle that so far they haven't shown in this game, the little bit of extra magic that we've seen in the last few Lancashire Cup matches.
Yes, well, I think Salford will learn some lessons about second division football from this encounter today, and they'll no doubt take note of where they've broken down on that attack, although there's been almost the only team to have launched any kind of attacking throughout the game. It's Workington Park, that's driving forward, but really well met by one of our smallest forwards, Bradshaw, and a beautiful tackle on that big man.
That's the penalty count. Salford have conceded more penalties. It's something like 10-8 in Workington's favour. That is, Salford have conceded 10 and Workington have conceded 8 penalties in the game.
Yes, and we're running short of time for Salford to really put this spark on and produce the try that the fan was really anxious to see. There have been 29 scrums in this match so far, which is an indication of the loose play, knock on, drop ball and so on. And big Workington forward making his way there, big, just a powering break, but it's the last tackle, and Workington the nearest they've been to scoring a try, and they do it at this last gasp. Now, has he scored? No, it's the last tackle, and he didn't make it to the line. He's given a try there. I won't describe the try. You'll see it for yourself.
Well, I suppose that might go down as one of the most original tries that we're ever likely to see. One of the most careless tries we might be going to see, but probably it sums up Salford's performance today, where they've done the right things in keeping Workington out. Workington have never been so near to the line in this second half, and then having regained the ball, they were just very unprofessional and very carelessly let the Workington player have the opportunity to kick the ball at the play of the ball, and everybody watched him as he ran the few yards to touch it down. It was a fair try, and it's a good conversion. Well, there's only a few minutes left. There's perhaps only 3 minutes left to play, and although we're obviously looking at a Salford victory, and every victory is vital if they're going to get back into the first division at the first attempt, which we all hope they will, I think if they do look back on this game, they can look at a few pointers about what's to come. But let's just put it down to the fact that it's the aftermath to the excitement of the Lancashire Cup successes.
We've been used already this season to some thrilling football from Salford. This has not been one of the best games. They've won this match easily, but it's been a scrappy, disappointing game in many respects. Salford will learn the lessons, no doubt, from this. There's nearly nothing in the Workington play except power rushes by forwards. Very rarely. That was one of the rare occasions they got out of a Salford trap to get near the line and score that freak try. Another one. They've gone 5 tackles now without really making any headway at all. And you have to say, well, people may criticise Salford's play, that the Workington play has been not very bright. Two tackles. Come on, lads, now you've got to do something here. Chris Whiteley drives it in well.
Come on, Salford!
Kevin Tamati, the latest to drop the ball in the tackle. Again, trying to get out a pass that really wasn't done.
Yes, I think we're looking at a Salford team without the 3 men who have been the men of the match in the last 3 games. They've not got Sherratt, who was man of the match on Wednesday. They've not got Lee, who was man of the match the previous Sunday. And a break on for Workington. A good bit of play from Workington. The referee noticed that was certainly a forward pass, but that was bright play from Workington, who was showing that they're capable of good rugby in their own right. And in fact, having held hold for Salford in the second half, they'll probably be very pleased with their performance. 20 points to 2 at half-time. It could have become a rout. It hasn't, because they've tackled well. And although it's taken them a long time to make some headway, they've nevertheless put some good passes together on that particular run.
Halfway through. Miriam Blees. Well then, Salford must swing it about. They've got players here to pass the ball to. Too short. Good run, good powering run by Burgess there. 14, it's going right across the line. Phil Fulham's running. Oh, no. Well, brilliant rugby. That was a shame. It wasn't really a bad play that ball was dropped. It was good play.
That was the sparkle that we've been looking for. There was everything right about that move, and Gil Fillan made a lovely break. And I can see him shaking his head now, very disappointed that what was his first real break for Salford Rugby Club didn't actually produce a try which it deserved. A good result, perhaps a disappointing performance, but we know that they're capable of better things, and we look forward to next week's game at Batley, and after that the Lancashire Cup final at Central Park against Widnes. Final score: Salford 30 points, Workington Town 8.